Hey, Marc Warnke here. I'm known as the Goat Guy. I wanted to do a video today on the value of breezeways. I'll tell you what, man, how you do chores, how you navigate your pastures, how you feed, how you water, and to do that efficiently is a massive part of your well-being, especially in the winter months when it gets harder and all that stuff. So I feel like after all these years, I've kind of have a system, but every piece of ground has a different system, so you can't mimic mine exactly, but I will tell you, you need breezeways. Breezeways where you can store things like chore trucks and hay and have access to hoses and water. What a breezeway ends up being is a place where the animals can't get to, but you can, and then you can work them from outside of that. So like, for example, we drive the chore truck from around here, and I'm gonna walk you around here afterwards, but this is the area where we bring in, we'll stack 4 bales. This can be parked here for a couple of days. We don't have to go to the hay barn, which is actually, was already here on this property, and it's a little further away than I would have set it up. I would have put it more up here in our main area. They had horses, and so they had it down there, and that's where they kept the horses, and I understand. But for us, we now had to make a breezeway because we wanted to come in here and not be, the action of trying to beat goats out of what you're feeding them out of ends up being an overall negative because they're pulling it off, they're making a big giant mess, you're angry at them, you're frustrated at them, they keep pulling it out of your hands. So we created the breezeway, so we go in, we just park the car, we cut the bales, and then we put the flakes, and we snuggled the feeders up as close as we can get, and we can just push flakes through here, and then we're separate from the goats, so they're not getting into the food, they're not pushing with us. We can get other people who might not be as courageous with goats, because people who are new to goats are scared of that process when they get all pushy and stuff. We have 27 goats here, even the girls get pushy. So we throw our hay in from here, and we have, just for the wethers, we have 5 feeders. So everybody can really spread out and everybody gets fed. So we throw only like 3 or 4 flakes in each feeder, and then we can feed right through these panels. And it makes it super simple just to push a flake through there. So then we have things like the feeder, and we push through even on the does. So you can see it makes feeding way, 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 way easier. And this is where we can stage things like tools and pitchforks, and you know, there's a place for the dog to access his way all around all the different pens, but yet he can lay close to the goats but not have to be with them, having them, you know, push him out of the pen. We're getting ready to build those cool little diamond-shaped jump throughs for Storm. We had a girl that was unordered, and unfortunately in the breeder of that dog, that she actually got squished by a hay bale. We're super heartbroken. We're supposed to have a brand new little puppy girl for him now, and we're getting that here in the near future out of the next litter. It was really sad for us, but we're trying to build, like, you know, a place where now we're going to use jump throughs where he can jump through but the goats can't, so we're going to be experimenting with that. But it's nice to have him be able to lay back here where he's not getting hassled by the goats all the time, because the goats hassle him. They just do. They're always, he'll try to be laying and sleeping, and they'll come in and pound him, and he's such a nice dog. They're such turds to do it. But you can see, here's our breezeway. So we drive along here, and we come in and load hay. We can just come in and load hay in these feeders here too, and then we even have the other pasture. So what we did is we figured out where the bucklings, the wethers, and the does are all accessed via this horseshoe breezeway. The goats can't get in here. And what that also allows us to do is open the gate and leave the gate open. So we can come in here, we can leave the gates open. We don't have to open and close every gate because we have a containment system that's separate from the goat pasture. So rather than opening 2 gates, having the goats rush us at the gate as we're coming through, we're actually feeding through. And I'll tell you, our lives have gotten so much easier. So breezeways, breezeways, breezeways. I highly recommend that you use them. They're super duper handy. Think about things like drainage. We think about things like drainage and how the water and the snow is going to go off it. You can see over here, this is a spring during the spring. It actually, this whole thing fills up with water. I dug it out deeper. What happens during the winter, this spring begins to fill up. It creates water across the road. So instead, I've channeled that spring to go around here and dump out that way. So You know, always think about it. By the way, our turkey experiment, I dig it. Turkeys are super cool. They're like this all the time. He won't really let me touch him, but he's always kind of around. They follow us. Whack, whack, whack. They're just a cool bird. If you haven't raised turkeys before, now that's, I don't know who this is, but the two are Thanksgiving and Christmas. We are gonna butcher them, but they've been a really neat, cool animal to have around on the farm. Having a couple turkeys, we raised them with the chickens. They take longer to mature. They're really a cool bird. I recommend that you try turkeys sometime. They're a nice bird to have around. They really are. So anyway, I digress onto turkeys, but Breezeways, I cannot tell you how much they have made my life easier, and they will make yours easier as well. I do want to remind you to make sure you comment, you click the subscribe, you like, and then if you'd be so kind, if you find this stuff helpful and you need help with goats, please do business with us. We have fabulous courses on how to raise goats. We have a Goat Club membership. We have everything from birthing to raising babies to kidding to milk and all the facets of raising goats. You can find on PackGoats.com. So I hope you find that helpful. Marc Warnke signing out.